And let's talk about the usage models, the applications piece.
Yeah, we don't really care what kind of a palm you have. We don't care. There's no racial restrictions. There's no age restrictions. There's really, from my perspective, there's no real no chronological issues. You don't have to be of a certain age to be able to use this product. So we pride ourselves in the fact that whoever you are, you can use this product seamlessly, and it really won't matter who you are.
And what bears repeating is that if someone is 20 years old and they work at the company for 20 years, when they're 40, their vein print doesn't change.
That's right. It goes back to stability. And that is that once you're enrolled, a lot of times you need to re-enroll. If you've damaged your fingerprint, for example, you may need to re-enroll. But in our case, because the palm vein pattern doesn't change much over the years, and it's very stable, the need for re-enrollment is eliminated.
Right. So again, at a high level, when we kind of button it up here from a here's really the three chief selling points from your perspective.
Yeah, I think it's importantly, let's take installation ready. It's easy to install. There's no magic here. An installer will be able to install this product readily using WeGan connections or a network connection or power connections. These are things that installers would be used to. It's not outlandishly big, so it fits into key areas, and people would be used to being able to install this product. So it's no different from what they're used to. I like that, because if you show somebody something unique that requires a lot of room, that requires special connections to it, that's where things get complicated and installation costs go way up. We don't have that. So the product is very simple. It's very straightforward. It's actually, as you pointed out before, Mark, it's a very good looking product, I think. It will fit into an office decor very easily.
Yes.
But also importantly, a lot of times companies will make a decision that they don't want to use a biometric. It's okay. Or maybe somebody can't, for whatever reason, use a biometric. They won't, just they have prohibitions about using it. We don't insist that you use it. We have multiple ways of having you validate. You can determine, companies will determine their own validation processes, and we live with that, whether it's including palm vein or using PIN or card. The single device supports all of that. You decide, the company will decide what the best process is that works for them.
Right.
Being fast and reliable, that's a key. To me, when you have a device that can be touched, people have a tendency to put their hands on it. They tend to be rough with it. In this case, the device is touchless, contactless. That actually increases the likelihood of it being left alone and just be able to act reliably. We could operate our device in a standalone mode, a truly standalone mode. And you may choose that if you have one door, for example. But we do have software called cross-checks. Cross-checks will connect to your device and will allow you to keep an eye on what your devices are doing, make sure they're connecting, make sure that they're handling their data properly, make sure that they're functioning fully. So devices hanging on a wall, if you picture a warehouse where they're distributed, you want to see the devices so that if anything fails, you want to know about it so that you can take care of it. Say lines are cut accidentally. You want that connection, you want that to identify itself, be able to understand what's going on and service it very quickly.
Right. So let's talk about this is kind of the conclusion before we get into the data privacy section that we want to talk about for a second. But let's talk about how critical this is, because again, we want to make sure this is a product from a value proposition that has an enterprise level of management associated with it. So you hinted at this, but let's talk about that just a little bit more detail.
Yeah, it's important that you have this, because from a device perspective, having a device hanging on a wall where you don't really know whether it's functioning properly or not, it's loss of control over your enterprise. What if it fails and the door opens? You want to make sure that you have the knowledge that your device is behaving properly, but also if you have templates stored on it that you're using to match people who are allowed to enter the facility, if that device should fail for whatever reason, say it gets hit by a tow motor, as an example, you want to be able to replace that device and send the specific data for approved users back to that new device. That requires a level of control on the device, and it's a level that we provide via cross-check.